Labadiena! So I have this old jointer and this machine was performing quite okay, but I started to feel some sort of a chatter in the machine. I ignored it for a while, but eventually I reached the point where I feel unsafe to work on this machine. So I decided to take the cover from the belts and to see what's going on in there. And all of a sudden, half of the machine is apart. But I found the problem. So this is the lower pulley from the motor shaft, and this bolt was holding it onto the shaft. But somehow the bolt broke, and therefore this pulley got a bit loose, and this key were the shaft of the motor. So here's the shaft of the motor, and as you can see, it has quite a wear in this spot. And that's what was causing that chatter, because the pulley was loose onto the shaft. So I guess I will have to take out the motor, take the motor apart and take the shaft to the machinist. And as I look at it now, I think I will have to take this ducting pipe as well, because I won't be able to pull out the motor. So this is one piece of that broken bolt, and I'm hoping that this inside thread will be okay, and only this keyway will need fixing. I'm not sure yet, but I hope so. I can still feel the end of the bolt in there, so I guess I will take a drill bit and I will try to drill it and take it in pieces. So here's the end of the bolt. And I think the inner thread is intact, so I'm pretty lucky at this point. So at this point, the machinist will be able to mount this one into the lathe or into the milling machine and fix the keyway. But I thought that since I'm already going into the machinist workshop, I will take two more parts that need to be machined. So I will take these two transition pieces to be machined. You see, the problem is that in the old days they used to make the jointer with this type of cover plates, if you will. And when the machines evolved, they started to cut tiny teeth into these pieces of metal. And this happens to reduce the noise that the shaft creates. So I guess I will use the opportunity to machine these kind of grooves. I'm a bit confused at the moment, because these plates are super crooked, both of them. This lower one is, it's like banana. but maybe it's supposed to be this way. I'm not sure. I don't think so, but I might be wrong. So while the machinist is working on those parts, I decided to fix one problem which was bothering me for a long time. So if you remember, the on and off switch was in this spot, and tell me if I'm wrong, but it's the worst place to put a switch because you have to bend over and your head gets very close to the spinning shaft. I don't understand how they designed this machine, but yeah. So my idea is to upgrade the machine a bit and put the control box somewhere in here, so you wouldn't have to bend over or get any close to the shaft. It's usually where the box sits in newer machines. And because I'm moving that switch to other location, the wire's gonna be too short, so I guess it's a great opportunity to replace them with the fresh ones. I just realized that I won't be able to wire this emergency stop button at my current setup because this is supposed to break the circuit of the electrical coil, magnetical coil, which holds the contacts in the contactor. And once the magnet disengaged, it releases all three phase contacts at the same time. And now I have a completely manual switch, and I won't be able to wire this one. But I'm thinking to replace it with a simple push button in the future. So in that case, I will have to add 2 contactors and a time relay, and then I would be able to wire this one up. So yeah, this will wait for the future. So getting this main cable here was pain in the butt. I just couldn't get it through that 90-degree elbow I created. So I eventually gave up and drilled the hole from the bottom of that corner and fed the wire straight up. But I might just have to remove it one more time because getting the wires from the motor won't be any easier. So I might just use that hole to help the wires get past that 90-degree elbow. And speaking of the motor, I have all the parts so I can put it together. So my machinist friend did a great job fixing this keyway, and now key sits very tightly. Also, we checked the bearings and they were a bit loose, so I replaced those with a brand new. Now I just have to remember in what sequence I took the motor apart. So my wiring is completely wrong. Not only the shaft spins in the opposite direction, but I also mixed the cables of the motor. So I guess rinse and repeat. Seems to be fine. Let's throw the belts back on. I'm done with the fix. Do you want to hear how it sounds? So as you have heard it, it sounds terrible. Almost the same as before the fix. So once the belts were back on, all the noises came back. And I've tried to listen where the noise is coming from, and it seems that the motor is vibrating. I'm not sure. I guess I will have to call for some help. I guess I will have to find some sort of a machinery wizard to come over. Anyway, I will end this episode here, so thank you for sticking with me, and I hope to see you soon. Bye bye.